So the original purpose of this video was to look at how I would start setting up a sort of streaming and audio setup for my PC, but only using good quality but value products and not falling into the trap like I originally did of using and just going for all the big brand names like Elgato and Rode and Shure and all those sort of things that we're familiar with when it comes to setting up streaming. And my son asked me whether I'd set him up with a sort of a streaming setup. And I thought, right, this is the perfect opportunity to start from scratch. But the video took an interesting turn because one of the items that I selected for him to replace actually my Stream Deck was this from Fifine. I just dropped it on his desk, gave him the instructions and said, just see what you can do with it. And yeah, I'm a little bit blown away, but we'll come to that later in the video. So yeah, my original setup, obviously I got into streaming. I, quickly progressed to get the known brand. So normally I use this for my mic, which is the Rode mic. But as I said, I've discovered actually you can get really good quality mics from Fifine. This is the Tank 1, which is very similar to the Rode mic. And that's what I'm using for this video as it turns out. And originally I had a different audio interface, although I do have a Fifine audio interface that I also use with this, ironically enough. And yeah, I had the Elgato Stream Deck because that's what all the streamers have, isn't it? And it's very effective and very good. So I said to my son, look, I will set you up a streaming setup, but it's going to be on the cheap, but I think you'll like the quality of the products when I get it. A hard sell to a teenager, but you know what I mean. So from a mic point of view, I could have gone for this, which is super cheap, and it's actually pretty good. Very, very basic, just plug and play. It's got fancy RGB lights, as you can see, and all of that. This is the Fifine A6V, but it's not very expandable. What I really wanted is something that could be USB-C, but also XLR, so that you could plug it into an interface. And there are loads of different options, and I've sort of tried lots of different options. As I said, there's the things like the Tank, which is more, as I say, similar to the one I'm using here. This is a Tank 3, but it's also USB-C, so it's expandable. But this is a bit sort of pro and serious for him. He wanted a bit more, something a bit more fun. Of course, if you want to go down the Shure DM7 kind of route, then you've got here the K66 from Fifine. Very good quality mic. Again, a bit too serious for my son. He really likes the Elgato Wave mics. So what I opted for is this, which is the AM8 from Fifine, the AM8. It lights up and we'll see it in the setup and all of that. It's USB-C, so you can plug and play, or XLR. So it had that expansion that I like. And it's a really nice sort of mic. You can monitor yourself as well. There's a sort of a headphone jack at the back to monitor yourself. And yeah, it's got that Elgato Wave sort of look to it, but very distinctive. Fifine are really good at designing stuff. Even if it looks a bit derivative, it still has its own cool edge. That's why I like this, the Tank that I'm using here, the Tank 1. I just love the design. So yeah, so there we go. So that was the mic. So this is the mic that we settled on, the AM8. I did a full review of this and you can check that video out here if you're interested, but we'll see what it looks like in the final setup. Secondly, we needed an audio interface. Again, I wanted him to be able to expand, maybe get more expensive microphones if he really gets into streaming. I mean, that's why I went for a value brand like Fifine initially, because, like Toad of Toad Hall, if he changes his mind, then I've spent all this money on expensive kit and he's not interested. But we can expand later. But actually, the audio quality of some of the Fifine products is really, really good for the money. I just have a very straightforward audio setup. No fancy lights, no RGB, but it does the job. Very basic, XLR connection, all of that. But for my son, we opted for this, which is the Fifine Ampligame SC3 interface. They've got a new one, which I'm very excited about, coming out, which I think is an upgrade on this and a bit more slicker, called the SC8 gaming mixer. But for now, there's a bit of a wait for that one. We're going with this one, which is the Fifine Ampligame SC3. And it's got lots of sort of buttons and features on it. And again, it all lights up and you'll see. and he can control his mic, he can control his sort of game volume, he can change his voice, he's got some sort of sound effects on it. And not only if he's sort of game streaming, but when he's playing with his mates online and stuff, he can control the sort of the various audio coming in and out, whether it's the game, the chat, whatever. And again, I did a full review of this. You can check out the review of this. I did it quite a while ago. But it's a really great little device, whether you have a USB-C mic or a mic with XLR, you've got that kind of upgrade step there, that upgrade ladder that you can use. So that's what we opted for, rather than the more plain and boring, straightforward audio interface that I have, because I like more of a sort of a professional setup and maybe less RGB, although look behind me, all the bloody lights. But anyway, so that's what we went for on that. Then, of course, the problem was when it comes to the Stream Deck. I mean, if you're streaming, you've got to have a Stream Deck. And the number one device that everybody uses is the Elgato Stream Deck, with all its functionality, its buttons, its compatibility with all the Elgato products and stuff like that. So obviously that's what I have. But it turns out Fifine also do a Stream Deck thing. So here is the AmpliGame Stream Controller, but it's so much more than just sort of controlling your stream, as we will discover. Really, really versatile. So I'm going to go in a bit more detail into this device. So I will do an unboxing of this, and just because this is a fairly new product, and look at what it can do. But when you see what my son's done to this, yeah, I think you'll be blown away. Okay, so this is the AmpliGame Fifine D6 Stream Controller for Stream and Studio, as you can see here. Switchable RGB, compatible with OBS, which is, of course, important. Let's have a look what's in the box. So obviously instruction manual here, quite detailed because there's sort of a lot of stuff that you can do with it, but we'll see that later. So here we go. As you can see, it looks really nice. Let's just take that off. And yeah, nice size buttons there. Looks really nice. The buttons are nice and sort of squishy. They've got a sort of bit of a wobble on them there, which I think is fine, but there's no sort of click to it, but definitely you know when you're pressing the buttons and stuff. So yeah, on the whole, nice and simple. I like a lot of the Fifine design in the fact that it is quite slick and simple. Also, with it comes obviously a nice long USB cable. I'll put how long it is in the on the screen here so you can see how long it is. But yeah, it's USB-C to USB-C, but it's got a USB-A adapter there, as you can see. So USB-C with a USB-A adapter, really, really useful. Yeah, so that is basically what is in the box, as you can see. I really like this. As you can see, it's got a sort of it's got a USB-C connection at the back. It's got a control for the RGB lights, a little button there. As you can see, that's probably going to control the RGB lights, I imagine. And as I said, USB-C connection. It's sort of a nice sort of angle there, so it sits on your desk and just faces up. So yeah, very, very nice. Let's see how easy it is to set this device up and get going with these buttons. You will need the Fifine AmpliGame D6 software, which is over, you can find over on Fifine. They do give you a link here, but so let's download that. Set it up, United States. I want UK English. Oh, well, we have to go in the US English. So you just go through the install process just like that. And this is what you get. You sort of default screen here. And you've got like the Fifine control deck. So you can create folders. Very similar. If you're familiar with the Elgato Stream Deck, very similar thing here in which you can create folders. I presumably just drag them across there, give it a title. And then when you click on that, it will take you to the folder of stuff in there. Plus, you've got audio player here, so you can play audio, operation flow, so you can set up some actions, OBS Studio. So again, if you've got OBS Studio set up, you can sort of switch between various scenes. Like, so for instance here, it's going to be a bit more complicated connecting to OBS there than, say, on the Elgato, but I'll have a look at that, see how we can do that. You've got Discord here as well, so you can set up various tools for Discord. Streamlabs as well, already built in. So if you've got Streamlabs, if you use Streamlabs for streaming, you can set those up as well. In the toolbox, you've got websites, so you can have shortcuts to various websites. You put the title in there and then the website. So for instance, we call it YouTuber Clive. That's not what I meant to put, but anyway. Right, so for instance with that, And then hopefully when I press this, there we go. Press the button and it goes straight to my channel.
NVIDIA GeForce.
So there you go. So you can put in shortcuts and stuff like that and lots of different things. So we'll explore what it can do in more depth and set up a few things and we can go from there. And then, of course, there's the headphones, of course, for any setup, whether you're gaming or just monitoring stuff. So obviously, when I first, set up, I soon upgraded to things like the Logitech G here, this Logitech G headphones, they're kind of really good quality. Then the Razer Kraken headset as well, the Razer Kraken. And then I've got another one, which I gave to my son, but he doesn't use that because I did a review of this, which is the H8 from Fifine for gaming. And I use this for gaming and my son absolutely loved it. So when I said, okay, are you happy that I get you another pair of these so you can game with these? And he was absolutely, even though he's used my other headphones, he loves these headset. And it's not just him. His mates say that he sounds really good with this mic, better than some of the others. So when it comes to streaming and game streaming and online gaming, that's really important. So he said, yeah, the only caveat is I want them in the white. So yeah, I opted for the white and we'll see it in his setup. But really good gaming headset. Now, as it turns out, I game less and less. So what I wanted actually, and I tend to, when I game, I tend to be using this mic. So I don't need a headset mic. And I do a lot of editing. So these are my daily headphones for editing and monitoring sound and all of that. These are the Fifine studio headset. These are the H8, I think. Yeah, these are the H8. And they're really good studio monitor headsets and really cheap. I've seen this for as little as £27. And you think for that money, can't be any good. Honestly, they're really good. These are my daily, despite me having all these other headphones I've shown you, these are the ones I use every single day. So it was a no-brainer that we would definitely be going for a Fifine headset. Although, as I said, we went for the gaming headset for my son. So there you go. Those are all the main kind of parts. The only thing that Fifine don't do, I think, is a camera. Let me just check. They do a capture card, interestingly enough, which I'll need to check out sometime. And they do a keyboard, which is coming up, a mechanical keyboard. That's interesting. But they don't do a camera as of yet. So that could be on the list. So yeah, the camera's still probably, we're using a Logitech, C920 or something like that for him. I'm using a Canon M50 here. I'm not buying him a Canon M50 to stream. Don't be ridiculous. But anyway, so this is the list of all the things I opted for in his setup here. So let's get it all set up, see what it's like, and see what he does with it. Okay, so this is my son's setup, as you can see, and it's looking pretty good. So he's got the AM8 mic here, and he's connected it with the XLR cable. So you don't get the lights with the XLR cable. The XLR cable is straight into his audio interface here. If you want the fancy lights, which you can have, you can connect it with USB-C and you'll get the lights. You can still connect to USB-C to get those lights in addition to the XLR, but he's just gone for that. And then here's the audio interface, as I said, and he can, listen to music, play games with his mates online. It's got full control. You've got your mic in, your line in, control your headphones and your line out. So he uses it not just for streaming, but for when he's gaming. And he usually uses this headset here, the Fifine one in white, and it plugs straight into his audio interface so he can control the volume levels and stuff like that. And often he uses the mic on there. But this is the exciting thing, the stream controller here. Look what he's done here. He's made it look really cool with all these buttons. He's got the temperature, today's weather forecast, live on a button, which I didn't realize you could do. He's got his current CPU usage live. As you can see, it's changing there. And then these buttons, he's given sort of nice pictures. You can go straight to Instagram, Gemini, Spotify, YouTube. That's his homework because he's doing revision. So he just presses that and his schoolwork comes up. I say Teams, Instagram, Snapchat. Then this is cool because it instantly fills out any forms asking for an email, instantly fills it out. And then this instantly adds the password, which is a really cool shortcut. So yeah, you just sort of press Instagram here and instantly it comes up. There's his Instagram. Spotify comes up on the other screen there for some reason. Press YouTube, instantly comes up. So it's just really useful shortcuts. As I said, you know, he needs to do his homework, instantly comes up with his homework straight on the screen, all at the press of a button. So I'm really impressed. He only did this in a couple of hours. And this is a really cool thing is I love the fact that you can instantly fill out forms with the email and your password. I think what he's done there is really clever and really cool and most impressive. And yeah, I didn't know it had this functionality. And it was just, I dumped this on his desk and there you go. Within a couple of hours, you can do screenshots for the buttons that you want to use, or you can use existing pictures. Just really, really versatile. And then you've got these nice lights at the bottom, sort of go with the RGB kind of setup as he's done here. And overall, as you can see, I think the thing looks really, really cool. And I think he's just done a great job and it just all fits in with his vibe. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd be interested to hear. So there you go. I'll put the price of the value, everything on the screen. Obviously, it can vary. Depends where you get it. Amazon are having a sale. I think this week this video goes out. They're having a sale, so you can check out the Amazon prices. Fifine products are on Amazon, both in the UK and the US, so you can check those out. I'll put links for everything in the description down below and all of that. But the price on the screen is sort of relative to where I've sort of found you can pick up these items and a sort of price, whether you get them via Amazon or order them direct, whatever, but really good value. So if you're thinking about getting into streaming, you want a certain element of expandability, but you don't want to just go out and buy all the named brands straight out the gate. Honestly, why don't you start off with Fifine? You may end up sticking with Fifine because some of their products are really, really good. I am a big fan of Fifine. I'm not hiding that fact because when you need good value equipment that punches above its price weight, Fifine deliver, in my experience. So there you go. Is it the best stuff in the world? Of course not. But pound for pound, absolutely. I think Fifine products are really, really great. So check them out. Anyway, check out the descriptions down below. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found it useful. And I hope you're impressed with what my son did with his little stream controller thing, this D6. I'm pleasantly surprised by how effective this is. In fact, he inspired me to add more functionality to my existing Elgato Stream Decks. Yeah, he shamed me into what can actually be done with a sort of Stream Deck. And yeah, you could be much more versatile than just game streaming and stuff like that. Anyway, there you go. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, then please give the video a like because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, then do me the great honor, please. Can you hit the subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with videos just like this. Oh, and talking of videos like this, if you want to check out more Fifine review products and where I go into greater depth, by all means, check these videos out here. I think you'll like them.